Once I started reading what, looking into what Miss Eve said, she said, isn't that name a Greek god? Now, mind you, remember I told you it was some things that God said I needed to release, right? Wow. Why all of it is about that name. Now let's speak about that. Let me catch my breath. I tell you. I had to leave there. Remember I told you when there's negative energy, you get vertigo. So I'm no longer there. I am sitting in a parking lot in Marion, Ohio. Um, but what I found out in just that little bit of time of researching is enough to make you dizzy, So that name, Gamma, right? And then it's Miel, right? I looked that name up, all right? And it is literally, remember what I told you. God said that there is a such thing as a multiverse. There's a mirror to everything. Remember I told you on the way here, wow, that they create a mirror. And that's why God told me to go see Warren G's tomb, is because, they created a mirror of him. And then in the video, y'all saw me jokingly say, Warren G, P. Diddy and them. Why is Gamma L connected to P. Diddy and them, or Didymus? So there was, and I just told you guys about another Trinity. I don't know if I told you or Rose, but God told me that's why he's been showing me the difference between they and them, because there's another Trinity and it's made up of three people. So go read. They took the book of Maccabees out on purpose because then you'll see the three. There's three there. But according to ancient, as it relates to that name, there Zeus had two sons that were twins. Their name was Artemis and Apollo. How did I get here, huh? Artemis and Apollo. How did I get here? You see why I'm dizzy? So, uh, that's the reason why their name was, Didymus, because there was a temple. Oh, so his tomb is mirrored after Apollo's temple and its oracle, and the oracle name is Diddy, right? Uh, y'all see why I can't breathe? Cause I ain't asking them. Ooh, it's so much to it too. Remember? Okay, so now it's time to tell y'all, fangirl, right? Just a crazy lady. That's it. Just a crazy lady who loved to study and loved God enough to, say it. You know what I mean? So these are the things that he told me to tell you to go look up. Remember back in our old videos, God used to say, all we got to worry about is 1, 2, and 3, right? Remember the 4 horsemen ride in succession, right? Go back and look. We told you the first one was conquer. The church and all the other people, it's very important to treat every translator, including myself, as a traitor. That's like an old Roman interpreter type of deal, is you treat every interpreter as if they're a traitor. You get what I'm saying? So, why was I telling y'all that? That was important. I'm telling you, I feel dizzy and everything. I had to leave. I could not stay there anymore after I read that information. It really messed me up. Well, because it's literally like y'all saw by happenstance. Like y'all saw I fought to get out the house. Y'all saw, like I literally said, God said, I got to tell y'all, release some things when I get there. But then when I get there, I find out it's this big, huge thing to where it's making it hard for me to speak. So I'm just going to blurt it out. Here we go. I've been, God told me a long time ago that they know when, because that his indignation, there's like an hourglass in the sky is what he said. There's some type of sign. The signs in the sky are his indignation. So back then he had me looking up these different signs in the sky. And that's when I happened upon the concept of a gamma ray, right? Hope I paused long enough. So I happened upon that. And that's, it comes from, that's the worst possible case celestial scenario, right? And then after that, shortly after God showed me that, then I found out about, that's when they started telling people about Beetlejuice. So, you know what I mean? Like they started telling us, but it happened back in September of 2019. And so when I saw that Beetlejuice could do that, right, that there was some type of binary planet system, or some type of binary thing out there, and the fact that a sun could do what Beetlejuice did says that ours could do it too. Was, because it didn't disappear after it just went black for a minute, and then recover, right? So that's when I started going, okay, this 3 days of darkness thing could be real, because it is scientifically possible for a sun to do that. So on October 9th, this is what we all didn't know about. They didn't tell us until probably yesterday or so. On October 9th, remember I was telling everybody about October 10th, a GAMA was witnessed and photographed at live happening, the biggest explosion ever recorded in space history happened on October 9th, okay? They're just telling us about it now. And then God tell me to get up and go find out more about this man. And his whole name is the word gamma, right? I mean, his middle name is the word gamma. And, and that his middle name is the angel of the rapture. Like if there's gonna be an angel, the angel that, like, I mean, if there's gonna be a rapture, the angel that's gonna be in charge of it. This is that angel. So that, now I remember what I was trying to say to you. So it creates a mirror. So it looks like it's a good thing, but there's a bad thing connected to it. You get what I'm saying? Because remember, if there's a good Trinity, there's a bad Trinity. If there's a Savior, there's an Antichrist. If there's a wise wisdom of God, there's a wise wisdom of folly. So there's always this duality that is happening. Because the real thing is, like, do you keep God in your heart through it all? But you can't know that if you go base it upon circumstances and situations. You get what I'm saying? So all of this is a test. But so that name is the name of the angel that would gather everyone if there was a gathering, right? And his tomb, that's what I was trying to get to too. His tomb is mirrored after Apollo and the Oracle. Y'all know, I hope y'all getting this. Come on, y'all, get this with me. Like, people really do be putting their life on the line for this stuff. But God, hey, I feel you got to say what God said. But y'all got to feel me on this. Y'all got to feel me on this. This is like, let's say they treat them like they're a traitor, right? Let's say that they don't have our best interests in mind. Or better yet, why the last president has the name Gamma, and as the one that brought like this awareness of forgiveness and grace. I thought that was God. I mean, I thought that was Christ. So there's this it looks like it's what's the word I'm looking for? A duplicate of Christ, but under this name. Y'all get what I'm trying to say now, under this name. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I hope you get it. You got to go back and watch the videos. You got to go study this stuff for yourself, right? But why was it connected? Like, for me to get up randomly this morning on some God said go. Now, mind you, I don't like going, but I went, right? And then to get there, to find out that this man's tomb is mirrored after Apollo. Y'all ever read the end of Enoch? Go read the end of Enoch. There was a Metatron that was the keeper of the veil. Like I'd always said, if there was a Rapture 2, they're trying to make it. That's why I said stay away from that book. Know that it's the truth mingled with a lie. I don't mean stay away from it, no, because I don't want nobody to say you said don't read it. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you don't trust it, right? But the name is the end of that story. Y'all got to go check this stuff out, because there ain't no reason for me to get up and go find Didymus, a oracle, the last man to sign over our rights to create the synagogue, the Sixtron. Remember that? I know y'all remember Sixtron. Remember I was asleep having a dream, thought I was woke. I was corresponding with y'all while I was woke. Oh, dang, I can't breathe. Oh. Y'all remember that, right? I was literally corresponding with a few people from the channel, text messaging, and then I fell asleep. While I was asleep, I had a dream that they text messaged me, what is Sixtron? In the dream, I then said to them, because I thought I was still awoke, okay? But I said to them, Sixtron is the synagogue. I said it really loud, like, synagogue of Satan. It's the 6-point star. It's this. It's this. And then the dream switched to where I was at a wedding. And there was this woman that, I remember I said it. And so I'm going to say it again. She looked kind of like Leah. You know, like how he said he loved Rachel, but God loved Leah. So what you would think Leah would look like, right? But so she had on that old dress that maybe she was being kind to somebody and wore it, knowing that it didn't match her style. But she wore it anyways, and she was, kind of frumpy, you know what I mean? But I felt like, oh, she getting married was the feeling, you know what I mean? I know this sounds bad, but this is really what happened in the dream. I think maybe that, God does things so we can understand them, But I was like, oh, she getting married. I don't know who she was, right? It wasn't like somebody I knew. But then she put her hands together like this, looking like she was about to pray. But hold on. Let me put this right here so I can show y'all what she did in the dream. In the dream, she did this. I thought she was about to pray, right? I went, oh, she about to pray. But then, no, she started going like this, pulling her gloves on as fast as possible. Then I went, oh my God, no, she ain't about to pray. She in a hurry. And then I woke up and told everybody that I was already corresponding with to hurry up, look up Sixtron. What's Sixtron? What's Sixtron? It looked like we just happened upon Sixtron. That looked like where we just left. I'm going to get up the courage to go back and count those pillars, because I want to know how many pillars he got going around in that circle. But Oracle, for real, like he has his, it's mirrored after, like the open, like there's different types of Greek structure. There's these, the pillars mean something. The open part means something. Yeah, so he knew if he had anything to do with it, he knew. But if he didn't have anything to do with it, what if they just used the good man, right? And now his body's sitting in a high place for them to use later. Who knows? But let's say he didn't do it. Whoever buried him there did it. Real talk, because they know. No, he knew. He knew. He would have to honor that name, that middle name. To be given a name so prominent and powerful, meaning what it meant. Yeah, he honored that name. He knew what he was doing. So it looks like all of the leaders are honoring something, because it shouldn't be connected. There should be no connection. There should be no reason why I got up this morning hearing God say, go to that place. Now, mind you, there's 5 presidential tombs in Ohio, right? But God said, I ain't telling you to go to all of them. I told you to go to that one. Get to that one, read that information, which I see now. I did go back and look at the video. I'm gonna go back and take some some pictures of what was those plaques say, because you couldn't read it. But the fact that I'm here right now, you get what I'm saying? That's the thing. I woke up this morning, so it was so random. There's so many other places I could be and go. Finding out, I was telling everybody, Rapture, I finally went through and defined the word date. Took me to one place, and that was Ezekiel chapter 24, period. I think it was like 1 and 2, but remember, I always say read the whole chapter to keep things in context. But it was verse 1 and 2. And, it was literally like I knew something like a new, some type of new, you get what I'm saying? Or burst, or I couldn't explain it. That's why my son told me, stop going, like it's gonna happen to everybody, because it might be just some celestial event, or it might be something that happened to you, or but it happened. An actual gamma burst happened on the 9th, and now I'm randomly here at a high place in Marion, Ohio, with a man whose name basically means gamma, and means gather the people up, like to grab them up. So let me get back to it. God, remember the 4 horsemen? Y'all remember, stay with me, I got ADHD. The 4 horsemen ride in succession. That's what he told us in our last videos back 2 years ago. They ride in succession. So it's going to be conquer, it's going to be war, then starvation. God said, all we got to do is worry about 1, 2, and 3. He said he got 4, 5, and 6. That's what he said, right? Remember that. And what was 4, 5, and 6? Aliens, asteroids, and what was the other one? Aliens, asteroids, and polar shift. He said, don't worry about them 3. He got them. But he said the 3 you got to worry about is these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He said, stop thinking he did it. They're of the apocalypse. They ain't the same as those 4 angels that's being held. Well, they are by the concept of a metaverse. You know what I mean? So here we go. This is what God told me. It's time to release it. Okay? I think I've told y'all before, but I'm going to say it all at once. God said a mountain's going to rise over there in the Pacific. When it rises, the aliens, all the gods ever created, like we about to be put to the side. Right now we think it's like we the star of the show. No, we about to be put to the side. And it's going to be like the witness protection program. It's kind of, or Maury Povich show is the way God kind of showed it to me, where everybody's going to descend on that mountain. This big thing going to happen where everybody going to be going, trying to get to that mountain. I'm not going. I hope you don't go either. Okay. Cause I ain't going. Okay. But he said, everybody going to that mountain. There's going to be people here in America that they're going to literally offer them like cruise tickets to go to that mountain. Like it's going to literally be like, you the chosen people of God. We want to take you. He said that, we got to serve you and take you there. Don't you go. Yeah. Don't you go. Don't do it. I'm not going. My God can find me in my house. I'm not going. Okay. But anyways, so they're going to descend on the mountain, and it's going to be a situation where you're going to have to say who the daddy is, right? And if only way you're going to be able to figure out who God is, right? Who really is the one true God is going to be based on like your heart, like, cause you're going to be standing there. God showed me there's going to be, alien, like, oh, that's another thing. He told me the first miracle, chapter 10 of Revelations, is going to be people disappearing. I told you guys that before. And I told you on that on that October 10th video. But he said, don't look for the sky turning dark first. No, he said the people going to disappear first. That's what he said. And then when the people disappear, then the sun gonna do what it do. Because those people are gonna be like left here to be a part in that show, the Maury show. Everybody else, like the people he knew he said he was gonna take his piece and leave. His piece of humanity, his first fruits. He was gonna take his and leave, right? And let y'all deal with that, right? But he said they're gonna be sacrificing people unto that on that mountain. But at first it's gonna make it look like, they kept it from you, that man or whoever, the devil kept the veil of supernatural from you, is the way God said they gonna try to tell it to you. But he said, don't believe them. He said he's the one that put the veil in place. He said they didn't do it. He said they're gonna try to act like they did it so that you will feel like, oh, you loved us enough to put. No. He said they didn't put that veil in place. He said he did. He said the reason why he put it in place, and he said many of y'all gonna see, is that the world, when that veil ain't in place, is chaotic. Like, it's literally, you gotta keep my emotions okay so I don't, like, manifest tearing apart the world. Like, you know how when they talk about manifestation, like, it takes time for the things you think about to come about, but not when that veil is torn. It's literally like boom, boom. And whatever the social construct of our earth is what is gonna manifest. Is what's gonna manifest. But that's why he said Isaiah 26 and 20. Oh, guess when the thing was built? Guess. 1926. Y'all remember my dream about Halloween? 26. I can't breathe. Ooh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. This is a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy. So, he said the aliens are not your friends. They are not coming to carry you home. They ain't swinging low to grab you in no chariot. None of that. First off, he said, if they need a machine to grab you, are they really a god? That's why he said wisdom will calculate that 666. No, God told me flat out they're a man. That ain't no, it's going to look like an alien. It's going to look like a something else. But God said this is a plot of man. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's going to be a machine involved. But while telling you they're the supreme beings. Nah, our God is like, he don't need no machine to come get you. That's the reason why I ain't leaving my house, by faith. By faith. I ain't leaving my house when that day come. Cause he God. He could literally knock down these walls, grab me up like that. He really that powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need anyone with a machine to come grab me. So what he said about the aliens, he said they are little g gods. Hide. They are not here for your best interest. They are not gonna be cool with you. They are not trying to protect the earth. No, they are trying to enslave. He said he said not 1800, not 1492 slavery. No, he said 1300 BC slavery is the kind of slavery they coming with. He said they are little g merciless gods. Merciless gods. So he said hide. That's what you do. And fall in love with him. Read your Bible. Run after him. Beg him to believe that you love him. Because that's, if you're just afraid of him, no, it's love. God is really starving for love right now. I feel it in my soul. Like, he feels like someone who missed his birthday. You get what I'm saying? Like, he feel like a wrongly accused. I feel it. And like, I could feel it, So that's what he said. They're little g merciless gods. What else did he tell me to tell y'all? It's time to make sure y'all understand. So hide. If you got that thing, he said the reason for that was the dull, like, think about me, right? I want y'all to think about me right now as who I really am. If you know me a little bit, you know I ain't churchy. You know I'm like, I definitely, I'm the type of person who cares how you feel about me. So to watch me sitting here like I don't care what nobody think, this is what he said, that speaks volumes. You get what I'm saying? So he said when that's the reason why they did that, was because a whole bunch of people, random, regular, everyday people would be doing this right now. Like if you look at YouTube, do you see that the good ones are all speaking with the same thing? Troy Black, I would align with Troy Black. Conflict by Fire, I would align with Conflict by Fire. But they're all like, even, I mean, so many of them are all speaking the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, and now mind you, I don't, I'm boasting in God, but, and God told me I can stand up for integrity. We've been saying this for a long, long time. But that's why I've had to isolate myself so that I don't get tossed to and fro by, look at what this person said, look at what that person said. I'd rather move by the hamper stance of God, because he ain't led me wrong yet. Hot. This is what I mean when I say miracles. People don't be seeing the miracles. This is a miracle. This right here, this moment. Like, I really hope I've done a good job of explaining what that word meant. I wish, I only got my phone here, but I wish I could go online. I mean, pull it up and read it to y'all. Why is everything unfolding all, like, here we go. God told me to go there. Why was there connected to Diddy missing Diamorphous? That's happening now. Why? I didn't know that. I didn't know that until she put on there, isn't that name this? And then I'm like, well, let me look into the name. I don't know. I ain't even know the man's middle name. I ain't know what G meant. Warren G. Harding. I didn't know what the G meant. Like, I get why God said he could bring somebody back from the dead and we still wouldn't. Like, you know what I mean? Because I guess it's happening to me. But y'all got to know my heart. I care too much about what people think to be sitting here ruining my life, telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is real. This is happening. And the only thing that happens, people get silent. That God said, because he said, he told me, don't think the rejection I'm receiving is about me, because I thought maybe people don't like my voice. I got a deep old voice. But he was like, it's not you, baby, it's me. He says, and he showed me all the places in the Bible where people were rendered silent. Like there wasn't nothing they could say. Because it was so true. The silent, I mean, you get what I'm saying? The truth will make you sit there like, I don't even know what to say. But what I hear him saying right now is, y'all, if y'all don't feel the need after this, like if it's still just like, well, my heart, God know my heart. Well, like if you still don't feel the need to stand up for him, and I don't mean stand up by going out there doing nothing. I just told you to hide. But I'm talking about to search after him, search his word, get to know him, really make sure your theology is in line with his so that he don't say depart from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, take on that concept. Because I'm telling y'all, October 31st will be the anniversary of, I ain't tell y'all about that. October 31st will be the end. Let me finish that sentence. October 31st will be the anniversary of that dream I had on Halloween 3 years ago, talking about the tsunami and the number 26. It's a lot to keep all together. But it was, now I forgot what I was about to tell y'all. Look at that butterfly. Wow, the butterfly was right by my window. Then it went away. I don't know if you can see it. Well, anyways, there was something I was about to tell y'all. It was important. That's what I'm trying to do is just make sure I said it. Like, that's the only thing we can do is put it out there and pray that those that have ears will hear. Those who have eyes to see will see. That's another thing. God told me, many of you can't hear him, but it ain't because you're not chosen. It's because you won't choose. That's what he told me. He said, it ain't because you're not chosen. It's because you won't choose. It says, the Bible says, choose this day whom you shall serve. And once you make that real choice towards him, You'll hear him. Why? Because his word. You'll start running after his word. It'll feel like a lover that is far off, and you got to get to know him because you miss him. You know what I mean? You got to go read about him and learn about him. That's how it'll feel. But at the same point, you getting to know him, and then his word gets stuck down in you so that when something happened, you will literally go, oh, okay, it's not me, it's you. You will hear him say it. Like, oh, it's the truth, rendering people silent. Oh, you get what I'm saying? Like, when he say get up and go, you will be able to hear him because it's in line with the nature of who he was when you went looking for him like a long lost love. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure I gave y'all all the oh the reason, another reason why I had to leave too was because look into that Apollo and the Oracle thing, the Artemis Apollo and the Black Trinity thing. That is so real. God made me feel like whatever they did up there in the sky with that, they know a portal that's gonna make it show up there soon. That's what God told me. That's what God told me. It's gonna make, they know, like they doing don't you know how stuff turn and then you do turn it that way? It's like a combination is what God showed me. So when I read that thing, that's just now when I read about Gamma, and the Apollo and the Oracle. People used to think I was an Oracle. I'm not an Oracle. Apollo and the Oracle, it was related to that Didymus thing and Artemis and all that other stuff. So long story short, God just told me, don't be surprised if one day the thing they just hit, we see it, like, because it's portals. You know, when you put things off of their course, you could inadvertently put it in a portal. You get what I'm saying? You can, and they know that. They know that. They just think we don't know it, you know? Let's see. Anything else? Oh, about how to understand people's hearts. All of this is a test. All of it. I'm being tested specifically. You're being tested specifically. And it's really, God does that so he'll know who he can trust. You get what I'm saying? And it's peeling off the crap. It's kind of like, picture you've been a kid or you're a dove, right? And you fell into a bed of oil, right? And you got one of these wrapped around your neck, right? That hurts, right? It hurts. Picture the dove. The dove is hurt, it's scared, it's covered in oil, it's something around his neck. And now, mind you, that was because of the life the dove was living. You get what I'm saying? That's like, he liked jumping in oil. He saw his pit, like he was vain and he saw the oil, but he thought he was seeing himself. And he just ran into the oil for some reason. I don't know. But that's the life he was living. Now, in order for him to get rescued, some people gonna have to grab him, right? He fighting the whole way. He feel taken. They gonna have to drench him in water without knowing his language to even tell him water coming at you now, dude. So he think they trying to suffocate him because he a bird. He ain't supposed to be covered in no water. They putting Dove dish soap on him, acting like he literally like, is it made of doves? Why are they putting the Dove dish soap on me? Oh my God, they doing some type of ritual on me. Like, it looks all bad, right? For the dove, if you're the dove, it looks all bad, right? But he getting cleaned up. He, you know what I'm saying? He getting made refreshed and new. He got the thing that was on his neck off his neck. He now back white, you know, like a dove's supposed to be. But it hurt, like it was scary to go through that process, right? God told me that's what process all of us are going through. You know, one of my big thing was I did care. I was approval seeking person. But I was seeking the approval of the wrong people, to where now God is making me loudly in the city square profess that I'm with him, even if you ain't with him. So I'm just saying, whatever you might be going through, know this, just like I came out on the other side, even though, yeah, I lost everybody. Yeah, I'm confusing people. They don't know if I'm a good person, a bad person. But God said, watch the people's heart. Does the fruit add up to God's will. If it don't add up to God's will, it wasn't from God. Now, mind you, if the actions, I ain't say actions, I said fruit. You get what I'm saying? The fruit. What came of it? Did you get better and stronger? Are you faster and smarter, more aware? Are you more prepared? You get what I'm saying? So look at the fruit. Did you get away from some bad people? Was that the fruit where you went, oh, they bad, I got to get away? Like, did you do that? I feel I'm saying that's the big thing that we got to do is learn how to discern the fruit. Like, I'm in a vacant parking lot. Why this man coming to park directly next to me? Did you define, let me sit this way so I can see him. Did you define, like, did you pay attention to what fruit came of the situation? That's what I hear God saying over and over again too, because that's gonna matter. There's a few wolves in sheep's clothing, but there's some sheeps. There's more sheeps and wool. Wait, no, I said that backwards. But there is. It's both. But there's some wolves in sheep's clothing, right? We know that. Yes, there's a lot of those. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. But God said, be careful, though, because there's some sheeps in wolves' clothing. That's me. I'm a sheep in wolves' clothing. Yes, I am. Like, I really don't care if you say this woman possessed, right? Okay, sure. But I still love God, though. Pay attention to the fruit. You get what I'm saying? Pay attention to the fruit. Did I get up and come out here? Do I teach you about forgiveness? Do I tell you to hurt people? Or do I tell you to love them? Pay attention to the fruit. So if I am, I'm after your God. I want him to be my God. If that's the case. You get what I'm saying? So stop judging people, because people ain't your problem. There's aliens coming. And they going to act like they your God. And the question is, when they do that thing that made you go, oh, God is real. Right? Right? Or they took God took a whole bunch of people, and then they turn around and say the aliens did it to protect us from them. Right? To protect us from them. They were troublemakers. Oh, that. He also said, this is the time when good is bad and bad is good. Right? This is when it's flip-flopping on us. So he said, when you speak, sometimes you feel afraid to talk good, to speak the good things. You know, that's how I'm confusing people, is that I'm not going along to get along. You know what I mean? I'm flat out saying right is right, wrong is wrong, right? So when you do that, though, in a topsy-turvy world, because everybody else is down with the wrong. You get what I'm saying? If the wrong to everybody else is right or plausible or possible or understandable, then when you make a declaration for doing the right thing, you become detestable. He said that's the reason why they're going to kill the two witnesses, is because of that very thing. The two witnesses say stuff like how Jesus would have said it, like, and correct people when they do, you know, like when they do the bandwagon stuff. But he said, y'all got to forgive, or y'all about to kill the next two witnesses. Like just like how Christ got killed. And the grief, he said, when Christ got killed, a grief, an awareness came across the land because of the guilt of realizing they killed a man in the name of God, that they couldn't really find out anything he did, like his moral was good. So that's why, like, he was without sin, because they literally like, we can't believe we just killed this man. So he said, this time, that's what's going to happen here. So once the people of God are taken, there's going to be that's when they're going to get revealed, okay? There's going to be two people that's going to be there at that mountain going, don't believe them. They lying. They're going to be protesting, basically. And the people gonna go, what? This is like, they broke open the sky. They saved us from ourselves. And it's gonna look like you're going against it's gonna look like you're going against God. Right? That's what it's gonna look like, but it ain't gonna be true. You get what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be true because aliens aren't our God. You get what I'm saying? So he said because the people gonna be ravaged with fear, they're gonna mob up, mark of the beast, mob up, and take on the persona of a mob to kill those people. And he told me that was gonna happen at a Christmas time. Though the two witnesses will get killed at Christmas time. I don't know what Christmas. Don't get me started. I really feel like this is all about to happen now. Here's another one. Here's another one. That temple over there is 103 in diameter and 53 feet tall. Okay. And November 2nd, right, was the day, I think the day he died, or the day, like, I'm just saying, I think it's about to be now. Because if you count 75 days, guess what 75 days from the 10th was? Christmas. Remember what I told y'all 75 was, right? Because remember Baby Bush, uh, and that's a crazy, like, Baby Bush, he's a trip. But I believe in a different world, I probably would have liked him because he is funny, but he's stupid. You get what I'm saying? Funny, but he's stupid. But he yelled out 75. Y'all know what that's like all. And it's exactly 75 days from the 1260th day of Revelations 12, and the what's that woman? Fatima symbol just happened on the 10th as well. 75, it said in Daniel, those that make it to 1335th day, like, they should rejoice because that's the end. That was only 75 days difference. 75 days later is Christmas. I'm just saying. Oh, and then one of y'all got to go look at the comments. One of the men, Michael Hayes. Well, I didn't mean to say his name. Praise God, but I don't, praise God for him. Y'all gonna see him in the comments because he went on his own, praise God, and calculated something I said, and it landed on Halloween. I had that dream on Halloween too. How many coincidences become the truth, y'all? How many times you gonna see a coincidence of somebody following you in your rear view before you go, this might not be a coincidence. This really might be happening. So I hope I told y'all everything. I feel like God has been telling me, oh, yes, coming up next, when I finally get back home, he told me to do Antichrist study. But any Antichrist study got to start with a Christ study so we can understand who Christ is. And then get the understanding of who an Antichrist is. So the only thing the dictionary said, it was the polar opposite of Christ. So we got to go study Christ so we can see who's operating out of the polar opposite of Christ, and there will be our answer to who and what, right? There's also in Second Thessalonians, it says the lawless one, but then it says the lawless again in italic, like I italicized, or like sent to the side. But I went and looked that up. That was literally like the completion, the its end, the devil's end. You get what I'm saying? Like the moment, like it is done, was what it was meaning. And the other lawless was about magic and sorcery and foreign, type things. So that's something else that I'm about to work on when I do get back home. But I am gonna go count those columns, or better yet, yeah, I'll look it up and count it because I don't want to go back there and make my stomach sick. Like, I've been sitting here because I don't even got the energy to drive home yet because it just, I don't even know what to say, but it's real. God is real. It's real. Is real. He coming for them. Because, last thing. He said, what, that man that we just left that tomb, go look up September 22nd. 1922. Today is 10/22 of 22. Wow. 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 But go look up that. And he said that was when, like, that was the jump off, because they literally decided to do an identity theft that day. You know what I mean? Or he followed through without, like, he was the missing piece in an identity theft. Like, or the last part to bring it all about or something. That's praise God. That's what he showed me, is that he was the missing piece. Now, mind you, this is all coming from my head. I ain't got no sources. Nah. Nope. Just a lady with her stuff in her head that God is telling me. I ain't got no sources or nothing except for the Bible. That's another thing. I am not a prophet. I study. This is I not to sound boastful, but we had this information before everyone else. Why? Because we were studying. This comes from study, not no hoodoo. I studied the word. This is where the word led me. We all feel it's coming soon, is what Sarge said. Yeah. Yeah. But look at the coincidence in that, too. The fact that I woke up this morning, it's 10/22. I ain't paying no attention to that. I just knew it was a Saturday. I tried to go yesterday. My daughter would tell you, I tried to do this yesterday, but she wouldn't call me back to let me know if she had practice or not, right? So I wasn't driving 2 hours away without knowing my baby was okay, right? So I tried to do this yesterday, right? I'm not paying attention to dates, right? So today, I get up and God says, do it. Go now. If you wait a little bit, you're going to start liking your living room and you ain't leaving. So I said, okay, God, I'm going to go right now, right? It is 10/22. He did that thing, WG. He did that thing on 9/22 of 1922. I'm here on 10/22 of 2022. How many coincidences become the truth? Like, when is God really telling us something? I'm just saying. I'm 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 asking for a friend. I mean, I'm down with acting like ain't nothing going on. But if I love God, I'm gonna keep ending up in these kind of places, ain't I? You know what I'm saying? This is real, y'all. This is real. And it's time for us to act like it's real. So what can we do? Because the time of preparation, we ain't gonna lie, we missed that time, right? He said we in the time of fortify. It's fortify time. That's what it is. Wherever you got is what you got. Where you at is where you at. But you gotta be creative and make sure that when it's time to make your stand, you're making the right stand for God. Because they gonna make it okay to do all kinds of despicable things. Listen to this. January 1st, cash bail is being suspended in all of the states where the Great Lakes are. That's what I was trying to tell y'all earlier too. I had a dream, and my dream was the culmination of all my other dreams. So you wake up and you have a dream and you was like, man, I felt like I was running all night long. I don't really remember that much about it, but I know it was like me and a group of people and we were going from place to place. Or another dream would be, I was standing on the brook of the lake. I had a house that overlooked the lake. And I was thinking, ooh, wow, I made it, So these little dreams where it was just pieces of it. Why God recently just gave me a dream which was a culmination of all of it. Y'all know that big painting with the tornado, the one that he recently had me put some portals on. He told me that's gonna be over Lake Erie. That's what he said. It's coming from Canada. Now, mind you, that's the judgment of God, right? He said something gonna be over top of Lake Erie, right? Like, and it's gonna be where it's undeniable. Like, whoa, was the way he showed it to me. In which that makes sense. Remember, I told y'all about the dreams where all the water in Lake Erie was gone. Y'all saw it. Go back and look. I had a dream all the water in Lake Erie was gone. Then I had another dream where the water came back and the fish were jumping onto the beach. It was like everybody was starving and they were running to the beach to get these fish that were jumping out of the water so that we could eat them. But then there was a man that was eating a lobster from Lake Erie. And I looked at him and went, "You about to eat that?" He was like, "Yeah, it's lobster, man. God gave us lobster." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I not from Lake Erie. I ain't eat nothing in Lake Erie. Like, not no lobster. I eat some fish, but not no lobster in Lake Erie." And so that dream, now it made sense, because if the new or something else happens over there, over top of it, that dream makes sense. Remember the other dream where I was downtown and I knew it was the 3 days of darkness was coming, and then all these birds like were coming towards me. Crows were coming directly towards me, but they went past me to where at first I thought in the dream I thought the crows was about to hit me, but they went over me. I'm like, and then that made me go, they running from something. Then I look, and there's like this light, like aurora in the sky. And then I said, "Ooh, that's that thing, that's supposed to signify the 3 days of darkness. We got to get inside, y'all." And I'm trying to get inside, but I knew that those birds came from Lake Erie when it happened. Because remember, I told you, I thought I was it felt like I was in New Orleans, but considering the fact that I was going to run to my friend Leia's house, that meant I was maybe in Cincinnati. But I know when I saw those birds coming, I knew what direction they were coming from. I literally went, that's down by Lake Erie. I had so many dreams about something happening, just come to think about it, something happening with Lake Erie and like a tsunami of sorts with it. I know that sounds crazy. I hope it's crazy. It's a lake. It's actually the most shallow lake of all of them almost. I think it's one of the most shallow, or I don't know. I think it's either most shallow or most deep, but I think it's the most shallow. But yeah. I'm sorry, it just hit me. That yeah, a lot of my dreams all had something to do with Lake Erie. I had another dream where there was some type of festival going on downtown at Lake Erie, but there was no water. To the point where, don't you know how when you go to a festival, there's all those booths set up. You know what I mean? There was so much no water that the booths were set up at the bottom of Lake Erie, to where it was literally like, when I got there. And I remember, because it was some type of festival, I was looking for stuff. You go to the booths to find stuff for your children, like little trinkets and stuff. But there was no water in it. You know, we got to find out the last time Lake Erie went dry and why. So that's really hitting home for me right now, because I am noticing a lot of them had to do with that. The vivid ones, anyways. The vivid one. You know what else? Let's talk about Lake Erie, y'all. Did y'all know that's where the United States, um, what's that thing called? Neutrino detector is at? Like up under Lake Erie, like miles up underground, there is a neutrino detector. Uh, that's deep. Go find out what neutrinos are and what they do, you know? And did you know that there's something about Cleveland too, where it's like universal, some type of, like when it comes to eclipses and things, there's an eclipse coming up. I think tomorrow or today, right? But it's like if you're in Cleveland, right, and you dig a hole all the way through to the other side of the earth, right? He said that's where, like, it's opposite to Cleveland is where this eclipse is happening tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow, today or tomorrow, or right now. It's probably happening right now. Um, yeah, so look at this stuff. I'm not telling you to be afraid. I'm telling you to know what's coming so that when your love appears, you'll know who the traitors are, right? Once you go full God, it makes it easy to see the traitors. It does. Once you go full good heart, now mind you, it's a choice. I am not telling, man, it's a choice. I'm a wolf. Real talk, it's a choice. But I tell you, the only way you can make that choice and keep it, because you can't lie, it ain't gonna work. Trust me, it ain't gonna work. Only way you can make that choice and keep it is falling in love. Once you fall in love, then as a wolf, you can keep that choice. You get what I'm saying? But if you a wolf faking love, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So I want y'all to know the fruit of mine is say fall in love fast. Fall in love, get to know him, treat him like a date, like a love affair, like, the one you sought after, like he ain't easy. You know what I mean? Like the one you really want. Like he coming to get everybody else but you. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you want to go with no fear, don't get me wrong. But it's more like, I want to go too. I like him too. I love him. Like, please. Like, you got to get that serious about it, because if not, you're going to be complacent. And if you're complacent during a time such as this, that means lukewarm, man. We can't, I'm begging. I'm begging for him. Not even for you. Because I know how he feels. He feel like somebody missed his birthday. That's how he feel. Picture, like he feels like his kids put a hit out on him. That's how he feel. So if there's one thing we can do, fall in love with him. Go examine his ways. You know what I mean? Like, how do he really treat you? Like, what does he say he gonna do? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Those are plans to give you hope and a future. Remember, he said a wrath is in the wave. Question is who do you love? Because then you will accept. It's literally like God showing me like, don't you know how like the TV show Bridgerton's, how when there's a good woman of good stock, you get what I'm saying? Like she come from money, wealth, like she's sought after. You get what I'm saying? Like she good, right? Like all the men want her, right? When she tries to walk down the stairs, all the men put their hand out, right? All of them. He said you gonna have to know him to know his hand is even there. Like, it's going to be a room full of gods, little g gods, aliens. And the only way you going to know who God is, like, so that when he help you down the stairs, because remember, there's going to be the devil's hand, there's going to be Zeus's hand, Apollo's hand, Gamma's hand, Enoch's hand, there's going to be everybody's hand, right? But the only way you going to know who he is if you take the time now to fall in love. Fear is not going to get you into heaven. Don't get me wrong, the beginning of wisdom is fear. That's the beginning. But I tell you, the glory of God ends in love. It does. It's the reason why wisdom will shut up. That's the only way wisdom gonna shut up. You get what I'm saying? It's the only, like, a wise person know, like, not here. It's the only way. The wisdom of God is the only way to know, like, the really smart person that ain't got the wisdom of God, they're gonna be like, let me deal with this. Hello, I'm so and so and this and this. They about to get got. A wise person gonna go, nah, he a shapeshifter. I ain't about to God said shut up, don't talk to him. I ain't doing it. You get what I'm saying? That's how we gonna have to be able to move. He also said during this time, WWJD, you gonna think an eye for an eye, because you gonna find out a lot of what the Jewish people believe was true, but not all of it. You're gonna find out a lot of what the Christian people believed is true, but not all of what they projected. You get what I'm saying? Everything we believe, if you really pay attention yourself, it's right. But if you go by Roman Catholic Church, yeah, no, some of it got adulterated. We gonna really have to be able to discern iniquity to God, because that's who matter. Like, if he's saying stop doing the iniquity, we got to figure out what the iniquity is and stop doing it out of love. Not just fear, out of love. Because if it's out of fear, the Jews gonna be like eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. If it's just fear, oh, I believe necromancy happens. Like, yep, he rose on the third day. That matters the most. He know his name. What matters the most is that his principles. Our fight is not against flesh and blood, it's against principles. What matters is that he brought forgiveness back into the world. We gotta wake up. All right, I got a 2-hour drive home. And it's hot. I hope I accomplished what God was asking me to accomplish. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Faithful need to be freed from her job. Share this. Go back and watch it. Look me up. Tell other people. Look up Faithful Wisdom Warriors. There is a record of God's truth within this. Go watch the record. That's why he said, yeah, that even if you brought somebody back from the dead, they won't believe you. Because there's a record of this, you know? But we gotta yeah, I promise y'all to always tell y'all the truth, but I am about to pump out videos. Like, I'm gonna find every funny thing. It's gonna look confusing. Like, I'm just don't care about nothing. Yes, that's fine. But I'm gonna save these lives for always giving y'all a reel on these lives. Uh but we gotta get there so Faithful could come back. We gotta retire Faithful, man. I need Faithful by my side. Look, I can't even hold on to a straight thought. I need Faithful with me. You know what I'm saying? I do. I need her. I do. It's the truth. So let's free her. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Tell people to watch the whole thing. Go watch the beginning. Evaluate what we're saying. Like, are we saying stuff that will make you feel all gore? Like they're gonna rip your skin? No, we get mad when people do that. First off, which God told me to do this, and God, I love. Remember, I told y'all, I feel bad, but He did tell me to do it. I'm sorry, and I'm sure that person to understand. But I do got to do it here because I don't know no other way to do it. Wait, God, tell me, do I do it here? Yeah. Uh, yep, I'm doing it here. One of my favorite pastors, right? I love him. Like, I would align with him. I would. I totally align with Conflict by Fire. I would totally align with him. Even if he, like, remember, God told me don't be doing that because, like, some people going to do something wrong later on. But the reason why I'd align with him, because you could tell it's so authentic. You could tell that man gave up everything to follow after God. You could totally tell. But God told me to tell him, stop saying that you gave up sex. Why? Because you making everybody that watch you go sex, 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 sex. And you don't want to be putting that in people's head. We don't know what people are dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So that sometimes the things we dealing with, we can project them onto a whole mass. This is mass spells. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could project something like that on a group of people. How do I know? This is when God told me about it. A friend of mine came over a long time ago before I even knew what agoraphobia was. But she told me she suffered from agoraphobia. And I didn't know what it was, you know what I mean? But I looked it up and saw what it was. Then I went through all this tragedy, all this tragedy. And then it got to the point where I was stuck in my bedroom. I couldn't come out my bedroom. Sorry. I couldn't come out. And that was the scariest. That was the scariest time of my life. Because I couldn't. I didn't know why. I couldn't leave that chair. And then finally, I got diagnosed with that word. And it let me know, would I've ever been diagnosed with that word if that word wouldn't have already been put on my heart? Like, if people wouldn't have, like, if it wasn't, because she wasn't really that. Now, knowing what it really mean, the lady who came and said it to me, she wasn't that. So I'm just saying, be careful about what you're saying in the public square, because words are spells. And if you keep, like, don't get me wrong, I know it's like when I start doing my defense mechanisms, that probably get on y'all nerves. But then y'all find yourselves doing defense mechanisms. But what did I say about defense mechanisms? They're demons. You get what I'm saying? So you got to fight them off and do coping mechanisms instead. So I'm saying that to say, God told me to tell you, stop saying that over your people. Walk by faith, because you're putting that in their minds. Even if he was putting it in my mind, I don't care. I say it. But it made me go, like, he say it a lot, to where it's literally like, okay, I don't even want to think about it so much. I'm trying not to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all done gave up something So let's focus and dwell on God. We don't got to focus on what we gave up for him. Let's just focus on who he is. You know what I mean? Who he is. That shouldn't be in the city square with the babies. You know what I mean? There's some people like how, remember how I was about alcohol? When people would tell me they don't drink, because I thought I didn't have a problem, right? I'd be like, I don't even understand. Like, you can't have ever have a drink? Like, were you alcoholic? Why couldn't you drink? And they'd be like, no, I just don't want to drink. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But now I get it. You get what I'm saying? Now I don't drink. So I'm saying we don't know what people's specific struggles are. So we got to be careful what we're saying over their head, because though the things we're saying will manifest. That's what happens when the veil start tearing. The stuff we say manifests quickly. And I'm telling you, like, help me with it. I'm trying my hardest not to be all defense mechanism going, well, that was me justifying myself, approval seeking. Because once you do it, it literally becomes a spell. Like, once you say it over everybody else, it becomes a spell. Unless you tell the truth. Like right now, whenever you tell the truth about something, you break spells. You get what I'm saying? So I want y'all to know that's the reason why I'm telling the truth about it. Like, if I was quiet, that spell would just keep permeating. You get what I'm saying? But if, considering the fact that I'm not being quiet, that spell can't, once you know the truth of something, it sets you free, right? So, yeah, that was a message to my brother, because I love him. I'm going to try to get it to him directly, but hopefully I'm going to pray and God going to have him watch this. Or we all pray, and like how, sometimes you got to cover people with prayer. And like, I know a lot of y'all been covering me with prayer with this ADHD thing. Let's cover him in prayer, so that way we can watch as God dwindles the thing. You know what I mean? Like, we going to see, it's going to stop, right? Uh, but I just want to say that be careful. Words are spells. They are. So break them. You know what I mean? Like, make sure that you tell the truth about them. If it's a spell over your life, tell the truth about it. You get what I'm saying? And y'all already know my truth is, now I'm scared that people got spirits. There is one particular spirit that seems to be after me and is jumping from person to person. That's the truth. You know what I mean? So maybe it ain't agoraphobia. Or maybe it is. Or maybe it, like, a fear ain't of God. You get what I'm saying? So every time I fight to go do something like this, like how God said, get up and go, I just broke the spell. At least for now, until it come back up again. Or I gotta get driving. I don't want to drive. I'm literally just don't want to drive. Okay, talk to y'all later. It's hot here. I'm gone. I hope this y'all saw. All right, y'all, get ready.